Well, one of these days, I'm going to get that music timed up right. What is going on, everybody? GM, thank you so much for joining us. This is Web3 Breakfast. We come to you every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. I got the boys in the house. We got Turbocito 74K. I see we got Carter here. What's up, Uncle Carter? We got Jacob and what we got here? Trade to win. What's up, fam? That's what we got in the Twitter space, and then we got a bunch of people tuning in live on the YouTube. Thank you so much for doing that, guys. Not only do we run a Twitter space, but we got this thing live streamed to LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook on several different accounts. Man, we are all over the freaking board right now. Turbo, how are you, man? How you feeling this morning?
Man, I am so ready, bro. I am so excited for today. You know, every time we get into the gaming, anytime we get into gaming conversations, it's always exciting. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, look, you know, we talked about the whole, you know, finance. You know, we're getting excited about token season. We're getting excited. Me for NFT season right now. I was like, I can't wait to buy NFTs. And you're like, bro,
NFTs are dead.
And I said, yeah, well, look, that's okay. All right. But gaming is easy for everybody to follow. You just buy it, you play it, you collect it. And if you don't play, that's where you come in, because you see the value of being able to add liquidity to these environments. Because, bro, that changes the entire game scope. Like, you do understand that, right? Like, if a whole bunch of whales came in and they pumped a token, like, to the moon, and you needed, like, one schmeckle to be able to cross the bridge, and them schmeckles are, like, $1,000 now. You know, like USD. So either you got to go game hustle, or you got to go, you know, like you got to get into your pocketbook. That's gonna change some things, because that's always been a big argument. Oh, go ahead. What's up, son?
They don't have to do the token though. Even if they go in and, like, say the whales, like instead of doing the token, they see the value in buying all the land up. You know, if they go in and buy up all the land and have that shit active all the time, to where anybody can come in and do whatever they're doing, like mine or fucking build or whatever, dude, that right there, that changes the entire ecosystem so much faster than the coin, because the coin is just the everyday holding asset. The land being active, that brings in so much more just resources to the game, to where people buy and trade and purchase everything else. It just makes the game grow that much faster.
Now, do you think do you think that we're gonna see another big push on digital land, like metaverse land and stuff, in this bull run? Or is that over?
Yes,
100%. Well, no, dude, like that the digital like household is like number one on the list. Like Project Gemini or Protocol Gemini, nothing but fucking metaverses. What is the other one? There's a couple other ones that are just meta. What is it? Meta. There's so many different ones that I have in my L2 wallet that I already can go in and walk around in them. So, like, I see that being like the number one spot for everybody to have in their wallet.
I was excited, Jay, and I thought Seven was taking a break in his breath. But I thought his story was ending a little bit sooner than I had initially anticipated. So I wanted to get a drink, but then I thought he was going to stop. So I tried to pull out. He didn't stop, tried to go back in at the same time. And yeah, so I ended up just spitting and wearing some water. That's okay. No, because I'm excited, bro, about this. Because, man, that's the thing. Like, you know, you're not a big gamer. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like,
I'm not a gamer.
You know, like
I'm not a gamer at all.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
Well, when dude,
hey,
you know
you know what? I forgot to tell you guys. Madden, you can get Madden on your cell phone. So I don't need an Xbox or a PlayStation. I can just play it right here.
Sir, you can get the cloud gaming.
No, what are you doing? You need to hold on. Jay,
I'm a gamer now.
Okay,
I'm a Madden gamer.
First.
Yeah, sorry.
No. Rivals, bro. It's an NFT game.
Yeah, Rivals is probably going to be.
I purchased this from the beginning.
Yeah, we've been playing it for a minute.
I
think you would definitely like.
Well, you guys knew that I like Madden. Why didn't anyone tell me, huh? I blame all y'all. I blame every single one of y'all. And here's how you make it right. Here's how every one of you can make it right. If you are watching on the YouTube, go ahead and smash the like button. If you are in the Twitter space, go down to the bottom right, retweet the space out, invite some friends that are into gaming, and let them know, hey, we are going to actually try to find. I want to try to find. Here's the deal. We got $1,000 in the Web3 Breakfast portfolio in Ethereum. It's time to get out of the Ethereum and put it into something else. So I'd like to get into maybe a couple of the gaming coins. So my goal today is to find something that we can get, whether it's 1, 2, or 3 coins. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I kind of feel like maybe 2 coins, 500 a piece, something like that is a good idea. So let's make sure that's the point of yo, go. What's up?
If I had a lot of money, like, you know, if I was sitting in the Web3 breakfast boat, I'd go ahead and go big. I'd go alluvium, having this.
Dang, you took the words right out of my mouth, asshole. That is.
I know, man. It's like, yeah, it's like looking at a stock.
Yeah.
That's way up there, and you're just like, and then you get some extra cash, and you're like, you know what? I might have to do this. What's up, Tyler? What's going on, family? Thank you for pulling up this morning. Welcome to Web3 Breakfast, man. Thanks for coming back.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thanks for having me on the stage. Really excited to hear what y'all are talking about, and I also wanted to give a couple suggestions for the gaming industry. I've been in the industry working in Web3 for the last 3+ years, and I'm finally starting to launch my own project, but I don't even want to talk about that. I want to talk about projects that are already launched, and the games are out there. They've been launched for like more than a year. Mm-hmm. So have y'all heard of Vulcan Forged?
I have.
Nice. So I'm an OG. I've been in there since the land sale. I got in whenever it was $99 per plot, $75 if you get the discount. But I've got over 40 plots in Vulcanverse. I've got 45 plots to be exact. They're all sowed. They're all staking. I've been participating in their land staking program since it went live over a year ago. And long story short, the way that it works is they have a metaverse built on top of like Sandbox and Unity, and it's similar to RuneScape and World of Warcraft mixed. So like you have your gaming avatar, and there's all these different plots, 10,000 plots to be exact, that can be owned by people like us. And on these plots, you can terramorph, build your own structures, build your own, like lands. Mm-hmm. And eventually you're going to be able to attach quest lines to where people can go to your land, go to different plots, forage resources, and then come back and get an NFT reward for completing that quest. That's been in development for over a year, and we've been waiting for that to come out, and we're really excited because it's going to be launching soon. And anyway, long story short, this game's already going on. It's been played by many people, like over 100,000 people, and they have weekly, daily updates going out. They recently had a big game update for their metaverse called the Merchant, which allows people to trade in-game Web2 resources. So it's not a Web3, it's not a utility token such as their PYR token peer or an NFT. It's just a Web2 asset, something that you earn from foraging in the metaverse, like silver, gold, or copper. And you'll be able to go to that merchant and trade those in-game assets for other in-game assets, and also utilize your lava tokens to leverage the assets that you've been earning over the last year. So it brought in a whole new wave of economy for everybody who's in the metaverse. And just to kind of give some numbers as far as what people can expect to earn daily if you have land, because that's probably what everybody's wanting to know the most. So a level 4 piece of land, which requires 200 PYR to sow and 200 PYR to stake. So you're looking at around 1,400 plus worth of liquidity right now, because PYR recently had a pump to around 866 recently this week. It was at around $3 for the longest time during that 1 year consolidation. So we're ready to pop all the way up to 50 and above. Yeah, man, I'm pumped. But level 4 lands, it's like 1.2 PYR per day that you get. 1.2 if you have a god on your wallet. So like there's limited gods that give you buffs to your daily earnings in the land staking reward. But if you don't have a god, then you get like 1.12 per level 4 land stake. So let's just kind of put it in a realization as far as if the Web3 breakfast wanted to buy a plot today that's on the marketplace and start staking to earn. So they've got some plots recently that have been going up, like sowed level 3 for around 160, 180 PYR, which is a great freaking deal, man. Because that's 150 PYR sowed. So basically there's 150 PYR already in that plot. So you're basically only buying it for 10 or 30 PYR, which is crazy because the land sale was at like $99. So anyway, you could buy that off of the marketplace and then instantly stake 150 PYR into the level 3 land and start earning around 0.52 PYR per day. So you would get your rewards back in, I don't know, I'd have to do the math in my head, but the land staking reward program has an injection of like, I want to say it was 10 million PYR whenever it started. But there's still enough land staking rewards injected from the program that will allow you to get your initial investment back, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you were to go get a plot today and then stake it, you would get your initial investment back and then also earn liquidity from the layer 1 network that they built during the bear market. That's like a whole nother story. So they also have their own blockchain. They're not building on Ethereum. They're not building on Polygon. I mean, that's where they started. They started on VeChain, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm kind of going on a tangent here. Let me see if y'all have some questions.
No, dude, that's awesome, man. I love it because, you know, this is like the opportunity now where, you know, you can be looking at something like that where, you know, on the surface, like, okay, I've heard of Vulcan Forged. I knew, you know, I think, you know, back the Meta Money days, like we were actually might have even got a chance to participate in the token sale. But see now, like, it's a passive income stream. Like you could turn, you know, a simple investment into a passive income stream that you just kind of set it and forget it. And now, you know, you move on to something else. And I was talking to an Uber driver about this the other day. When she was asking about crypto and how it applies to, like, you know, and what she would be doing. And I said, well, here's the deal. Like, you know, what do you pay for your car a month? And, you know, she's just like $250. And I said, well, here's the deal. Like if you found yourself like a passive income stream in crypto or wherever that netted you at least that $250 a month, now that takes care of your car payment. And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah, like you don't have to work now for your car payment because this income that's coming in from and she had no idea what passive income was. Yeah, I love that Matthew just raised his hand. And so, you know, explaining this, that like, you know, listen, you can find these opportunities, like, you know, and I know this is a little bit more expensive, but you could grab yourself a mutant right now for, you know, 5 something ETH, max stake it, and then start earning, you know, some pretty decent coin, which is something I should probably do instead of just letting that thing sit and do nothing. But please go ahead, Matthew.
GM fam.
GM.
Love the gaming talk and definitely interested in this project Vulcan Forge. So thanks for bringing it up. And just a note to you, Jay, the ape staking is totally a great way to go about it. We've been able to double our ape tokens without even doing anything over the course of like almost maybe 16 months. So we've doubled the position and it's all been passive, which is pretty cool. But the one thing I want to make a note of here is that anytime we do get that passive income, it's considered income. So we just, you know, if somebody needs $250 for the car, whatever the case may be, they need to make a little bit more than that because they are going to have to offset some of that from a taxable perspective. So just something to keep in mind.
Thank you for being the voice of reason,
and I thought, you know, Matthew's going to go where I was kind of thinking, because when I find myself in that same situation, I begin with the Uber share. And I say, hey, you know, Uber stock is $61. You know, and if you want to get started, and they look at me and they're like, oh, that's so old. I'm like, well, great. Let me tell you about crypto. And then, you know, kind of give them some other. I try to start them off in the traditional. Get that gleam off your face, Jay. You ain't got to gleam at me. Jesus, I can see you. Like, I know everybody else can't. I'm watching you live. No delay.
It was not that big of a gleam. Don't worry. I'm wearing my glasses for goodness sake.
Oh,
go ahead.
All right. You know, look, I was gonna. Well, first off, let me get mine on. So I look way worse. But the other thing I was gonna say about what you were saying and what Tyler was talking about, right? Was I like that because the gaming token. This is an opportunity for us to kind of talk about strategies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, that's the whole point, right? Like, of you not being a big gamer, you know what I'm saying, but you want to invest in tokens. Right. Like now, you know, this is really where it's important, because I was thinking about this before the show about how, you know, like understanding how the token is used gives you a better leverage to buying different tokens. Mm-hmm. Right. Like if, for instance, right, like if a game, if you have to burn a token every time to gain life or to enter in, right, there's going to be a lot of movement. Right. So looking at sales tax and things like that on those tokens, it's going to be important because, like, you can see liquidity grow really fast when when there's a lot of transactions. But speaking of a lot, we have a lot of hands. You know, we do have Tyler just hand up, and Marauder. You just came up, so let's go Marauder and then Tyler, if that's cool. Marauder, go ahead, family.
GM guys, how's everyone doing?
GM, and you know, we're doing all right. Having a good day so far.
Dude, heck yeah, man! I love to hear it. I love the Web3 gaming talk. As you know, I've had my takes on this show, just regarding Web3 gaming, and I guess I'll say it again. I mean, Vulcan Forge is one of those gaming like incubators. That's it's great like medium exposure to gaming, where like, similar to Immutable X, as well as Ultra, as well as, a lot of these other like C2Fi Fund, that too. Those are like, if you want to get more like specific gaming exposure, definitely go to those like incubators or those kind of ecosystems for those games to be built on. And then if you want more specific gaming exposure, you just buy the individual tokens. Like I've talked about how I'm bullish on Shrapnel. Like I'm actively accumulating Shrapnel now, like little by little, because I'm bullish on the game. But that being said, you also have to take into account like the risk of that specific game. So if the game doesn't do well, the token's not going to do well, obviously.
Right.
So adjust your risk accordingly. So like my gaming portfolio, for instance, is like, and this isn't my entire portfolio, this is just the gaming segment, but it's like 50% Avalanche, and then like 30% Immutable X, and then like I would say 10% C2Fi Fund, and then like 5% allocated amongst different gaming tokens, something like that.
Smart. Diversify. I love Avalanche, man. What do you guys think that thing's gonna do? Peak bull. You think it's gonna go over $100?
Oh, definitely. Do peak bull, we're gonna probably see like 150 again, or so. What was the peak last time? Like it was like 120.
Let me take a look. I'm not actually sure.
It's probably going to explode because like I just don't care about Avalanche. Like I am not excited about, not for any reason or whatever. Just I'm just not a.
If you ever needed a reason to be bullish on something, it's when it isn't a sexy marketing kind of attention grabbing kind of thing. So it's precisely, so now everybody should go buy, this is not investment advice, but everybody should go buy Avalanche simply because Turbo thinks it's boring.
Were they were grouped into it's Avalanche, is it Avalanche, Algo, and one other that can handle about 10,000 transactions with $1?
Yeah, I think so. I'll speak to that too. I mean, so the thing with Avalanche that makes it so popular is that it allows for those like private subnets, like I talked about before, and that's why Shrapnel is so bullish on Avalanche. Is because like for a game like that, like for a game that's going to have a lot of like transactions on their marketplace to exist, they want to make it so it's like siloed off from the rest of the blockchain, so that like if a degen mint is happening on like a bunch of different NFTs that are like like that have nothing to do with Shrapnel, they don't want that to muddy up the waters for their like marketplace. So they don't want, like, if like let's say Avalanche gets super congested and whatnot, the main chain gets super congested, that will not affect Shrapnel's subnet. So all the transactions happening on Shrapnel are going to be just fine. They're gonna kind of go on like willy-nilly, like not affected by other people's ongoings. I mean, and the trade-off there is that with these subnets, you have a more centralized like control of the subnet. So like Shrapnel basically can, allow you to leave or not leave their ecosystem. Like you have to go through their validators to get off their subnet, which is the trade-off. But the thing with gaming is it was always going to be centralized. Like decentralized gaming is a fallacy. It's not going to happen. Like you need to have, like there's going to be some degree of decentralization, but like the thing you have to think about is decentralization equals responsibility, and people don't like having responsibility, and so they're going to go to these more catered ecosystems, like these like centralized catered ecosystems with like a sprinkle of decentralization, like a little dash of it. Like think of like you're putting salt on on your meal. It's like a little dash of decentralization. And that's what subnets on Avalanche offer. And that's why I'm super bullish on Avalanche being like a gaming ecosystem as well as a like corporate blockchain because of the subnet infrastructure.
So I agree.
I'm buying Avalanche.
Yeah, dude. Make sure that you get that Avalanche from your Stars Arena account. I know that you got shorted pretty good, so maybe you collected some good fees in there.
I hope so, man. I get to go in there every day and see another ticket sold, and I just think to myself, like, golly, that person knows what they're doing. Yo, Tyler, you've had your hand up for a hot second, and I know that you're too new of a breakfast member to have been able to purchase your pit stand. Guys, make sure you check that out at the Web3 Breakfast merchandise store, coming to you very soon. But Tyler, go ahead, family.
Yeah, so really quick, I wanted to touch on what Matthew was talking about with tax implications. So it's very important that you don't withdraw your funds to your primary accounts and whatnot, or actually accept them to your wallets prematurely. It's best to accept them once per month, once per quarter, if you're looking from a financial aspect where you don't have too many tax hits. And that's actually one thing that Vulcan Forge did with their land staking program. They had a separate wallet implemented within their platform called a market wallet, to where that's where all your land staking rewards get sent, which is basically an escrow wallet by them. So you decide when you want to bring in the market PYR into your main wallet, and then that counts as your one transaction. But over the last year, everybody's basically wanted it to become more decentralized, so where they don't have to wait for those centralized market to main swaps. So from everybody wanting that more than the market, they're going to be doing away with the market wallet, and they're going to make it to where everything's just strictly from your Web3 wallet that's integrated into the platform, whether it's for MetaMask or not. But I also wanted to bring up to everybody who's listening, you can also, as a person, like individual, set up an LLC or a holding company in multiple different regions that are allowed for your citizenship wherever you reside. And that might allow you to get some really nice tax breaks for NFTs and cryptos relating to these waters that we haven't really traversed yet. And the waters that I hate to say it, but old boy Gary keeps on messing up.
Yeah. Oh well,
to bring up the topic.
He's he's something else, that's for sure. You know, it's going to be funny, and I'm sure, you know, obviously there are some gamers that, you know, have found some massive success, you know, from a esports standpoint or whatever. But I what's going to be funny to me is when some, you know, say my daughter is just sitting at home playing some blockchain game and all of a sudden becomes a millionaire, like and like all of a sudden the parents are like, oh shit, like obviously if you don't have the structure in place with the LLC and the employees and all that stuff, like that then falls onto the burden of the parents. Is that correct?
So basically it falls onto the accountant. Since the owner of the account is not an adult, it does fall onto their parent, because they're the next in line to basically own the so great point. Anybody who has kids, maybe set up an LLC before they even get gaming, because shit can get wild, just like you said. And I mean, hey, that would be a good problem to have, right? Cashing out a $1 million NFT and having to pay 20-30% taxes. I mean, hey, that'd be a good problem to have.
Yeah, I mean, it's
better than not having it at all.
It's a good story for you know, for all of us. And again, you know, I'm not the gamer, but I know the, you know, the story is as old as time. Is you're not going to make any money playing video games. Well, that's, you know, that narrative is starting to change now. What you got for us, Matthew?
Just want to point out to Tyler, to what Tyler was saying, and he's exactly right. Like, pay attention. So for people who are interested in passive income, there's basically two ways that it's happening right now in the crypto space. One is that you get like daily returns or daily sort of adds to your account. So that's like staking and liquidity pools and things like that. And that's a much different, like it's more difficult and more complex to do from a tax perspective. So just make sure you speak to a tax professional about how to do that, because you've got to worry about cost basis and income and all this kind of stuff. So it can get really tricky. But the benefit to what Tyler's talking about is if you have a wallet that is requiring you to claim that token or that airdrop or that dividend, quote unquote dividend, you have the ability as an investor to choose what time that you do that. And that's beneficial because you can look at your cost basis and add or subtract to that cost basis depending on when you choose to claim those tokens. And so my cost basis for ape tokens, for example, you know, probably hovered around $9 or $10, because that was income when we claimed those tokens originally, when they were, you know, whatever price they were at. So now the price is down to like $1, $2, whatever. But we've continued to take those dividends periodically over the course of 16 months, and over that course have lowered that cost basis dramatically, closer to like $3 or $4. So now we've doubled our position and lowered our cost basis, and we've literally done nothing but accept the tokens at particular times when the coin has been low. So just keep that in mind as a strategy.
And, you know, Matthew, you know, we're getting close to the workout. I did find this new game. It's called Grayscale Ethereum Trust. Do you think that's worth kind of getting into?
The window's getting closed. I think for Ethereum, you're definitely looking in the right spot. So for those who don't know, Grayscale Trust will trade, you buy the shares of the trust, and that share trades at a premium or a discount to what they call NAV, which is net asset value. So it's different than buying Ethereum straight up, but the challenge is because of the bear market, they've had sort of a lot of discounts regarding either the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust or the Ethereum Trust. So you could go in theory buy those shares, and as the price of Ethereum rises, it gets closer and closer to that net asset value. And if they do have an Ethereum spot ETF, the company is going to have to convert those shares to like a 1-for-1 of Ethereum, like they will likely have to do with Bitcoin. So if you're a buyer of Ethereum from Grayscale, the chances are you could do it at a discount. And if you hold those shares, they'll likely convert to a 1-for-1 parity. But it's beneficial all around, and it's a way to do it in your 401k or retirement account if you don't want to actually touch crypto.
Yeah, that's a crazy game right there. I'll tell you, hey, Jay, we're about 2 minutes, man. I thought Matthew was going to get us all the way there. You know what I'm saying? He left us a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying? On that there. But man, I definitely looking forward to this workout. What are you gonna be doing? I'm gonna do some push-ups today.
You know what? I was thinking, even though I have the dumbbells here, I'd rather do some push-ups. So I'm gonna do some push-ups myself. It's been a couple days. The shoulders miss it. So I will check that out. We're just waiting for old Coach, Coach to come on up here. In the interim, we've got our hand up. Nino, El Nino. What's up?
Nino.
What's up, fam?
Shit, I seen the homies up in here, so I decided to pull up.
My guy.
Shit looks interesting. I'm trying to see what y'all talking about. I mean, I see this Web3 gaming, but that's not exactly what I heard when I came in here, but it's good to be diversified.
Absolutely, man. We're looking at coins to invest in to become millionaires. Hey, there he is. There's the coach. But we're looking at coins to invest in to become millionaires in the bull run, so that then you can sit there and play video games for the rest of eternity because you have made it. So we're trying for Turbo to make it. Yep. See, we're gonna make dreams come true here. We're gonna do it as a club, as a community. And speaking of the club and community, guys, this is Web3 Breakfast. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the halfway point. So if you are watching or listening for the first time, we sure do appreciate you. Make sure you smash the like and make sure you retweet the space. But this is our workout break. This is the point where we got to have those healthy minds, healthy bodies in order to have a healthy portfolio. And so let's get our heart rate pumping. Let's get that blood going. And it's time for a quick workout break. And we're going to play a little jam from our buddy. Well, I got to add more songs on. Seeing as how now I'm doing the show in here, I got to add more songs into the road. So we're going to do Nessie again. We'll get some more stuff added later today. And then I see my guy, Jared, just popped in. So we're going to hear from the Two Lands crew. Their token, everything ecosystem going live today. Should be in a couple hours here. So he just popped in on the what is this? YouTube? Oh, X. Oh, that's a cool thing. I forgot. StreamYard now. If you are watching on X, if you're watching the live stream on X, if you make comments, they come into StreamYard now so we can see those. Great update. Love that. So we can be more communicative to our community. So, all right, that's enough. That was a long-winded way of saying it's time to work out, baby. Let's get it.
Stop blowing up my line. Forget about the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. Hey, love money, fuck drama. Taught to get the commas, they was learning about some blah blah. Can't nobody save you when you slaving for $1. Got to teach them how to fish so they gon' eat. We don't catch a far to play with these lames in a whole different lane, covered by the chosen one. 60 left ain't been the same. Seeing red when I add it up, I'm tired, but it's changing. You can never sub aside the equation. They sleeping on me, but the cash don't. I do it for my twins. What you doing less for? I done hopped in Web3, now I'm seeing cash flow. 85 up in the T's, you can do the math, ho. Mobbing with some queens and they even caught the lines. Rolling woods and they keep an open mind. Had to let go of a couple, they was trying to toe the line. You don't make it multiply, then the time's gonna divide. I just get digits, new way, get chicken, big business, OG, dismiss it. I can't let nobody stop me from getting my ticket. I don't care if you my man, so don't mean you accept it. Got the keys, I can flip it, friend tech, turn 2 to 11. You can keep that little flex. Over the head road, run, getting checks on my ex in the van, while I'm thumbing in the van like love money, fuck drama. Taught to get the commas, they was learning about some blah blah. Can't nobody save you when you slaving for.
All right, there it is. There it is. That's Nessie. Man, he's throwing some heaters out there.
He is definitely tearing it up, man. Shouts out to him, man. Shouts out to all the Web3 musicians that are out there, man. We got definitely some dope artists out there. So we can get some more music mixed in. We have lots of tracks. I know we're talking 2024. Getting continuing to tighten down the ship.
Excuse me. Let's bring Friday. Let's do a lot. Let's go, back to the music Fridays so we can coast on into our weekends with some good tunes.
Most definitely.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, we were talking about gaming coins, guys. If you're just joining us, we just got back from a workout break. But today we're talking about gaming coins. I want to add $1,000 into my Web3 breakfast portfolio, into our Web3 breakfast portfolio. Looking at a couple things, I've seen a couple suggestions come in. Just so you guys know what we've got in there so far. I guess we could probably go over that, and then that would help.
Oh, Jay, I got to tell you something crazy.
What's up?
I got to tell you something crazy. So those new Solana phones, right?
Yep.
Bro, I heard that they have 30 million bonk already preloaded on every one of those phones.
Yeah, some people are just getting the phone just for the bonk.
Oh, so you've heard this? Okay, well, shit, okay.
Yeah, and those things,
All
phones are. I mean, I think
I
on eBay they were selling for like the phone was like $600, or selling for like $2,000 or something like that on eBay, something like that, because of the they're loaded up there. Really quick, IMX, Shrapnel, Kopi. I feel like I'm missing something on here, and then we got a half an ETH. So the half an ETH, I got $1,100. That's what I want to spend to add some things into the portfolio. I'm really tempted to add Beam. What do you guys think about Beam? It's almost $1 billion, though. It's $906 million market cap. It's almost. Oh, someone didn't like that. Who was that?
I mean, you can get it, but I would wait for it to go back down before you get it.
You wait for what?
I would wait for it to go back down before you get it.
To what?
Or maybe get it. I don't know. I'm looking at it.
That's a good looking chart.
I'm pulling the chart up right now.
It's okay chart.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. I'm not saying it's bad.
Ask the question.
I just don't want you to
Jay,
buy at the peak, sir.
What's the time frame? Like, are you looking for like a quick?
Yeah.
Like, is this a portfolio we're holding through all 2024 to see like how it performs, or is this like a 3-month kind of thing?
Well, so that's a really good question. Right now, I was looking at scalp opportunities, but I could switch it over to the HODL opportunity for the long term, because that's probably a better indication of something that we'd want to be doing for the gaming. Like, we're not trying to catch this thing on a quick run up, right? Like, we're waiting for the ecosystem to mature more.
Yeah. Beam is definitely a long hold for sure. Like
Ultra is down 33% ish. From its local top.
That you've been talking about that one for a while, right, Corey?
Yeah.
What Ultra? What's the ticker? Just Ultra?
UOS.
UOS.
I'm looking at this. I see my buddy Noxie. He put in the Wilder World.
Oh, dude, I love. So I had a relationship with the Wilder folks back at the old channel. I would like to talk to them again, because what they do is like some really cool stuff. It's a lot of sneakers, cars, and some other dope shit. I really like that ecosystem. That is a very low market cap. I think I was looking at that before. Like, that might be lower than a $10 million market cap.
Market cap is 374 million.
Nope, 125 million. I see. Where did I see that? Wow, I thought it was a lot.
Wait,
smaller.
where are you seeing that at?
Right here, market cap.
Show me.
125.
Yeah, because
Can I ask a quick question before we get to the hands?
Yes.
This is like an
yes,
honest
of
question.
course.
Why do you look at market cap as a reason to invest in a token?
Market cap with token supply lets me know, and then the current price, like, where is this thing going to potentially go? Like, if something has $1 billion market cap, like, and they have a jillion tokens, like, that's probably it. Like, it's going to be very, very hard to double that again, right? Whereas if you have a low market cap with a decent, like 500 million, like, I generally like things under $1 billion. Like, I love tokens that are somewhere in like the millions, usually like around 500 million and less is like a really good indication with a low market cap, because then it's got room to run if it takes off. And these are all spec plays, right? Like, it's like the larger market caps, like, that those are safe plays for your 5 to 10x, right? But that's not like on these more of these spec plays, like, that's not what I'm looking for.
I see. So from like a speculative, sort of a spec, like a scalp kind of situation, your bet is to say, I can easily go from one 100 million to 200 million versus a billion to 2 billion, that doubling is way easier, and therefore you could have 5, 10, 20, 30 X's.
Correct.
Gotcha.
But I also feel though, like with this, with our gaming strategy as a whole, like as we get more into actual games themselves, we have to pay more attention to what's going on in that ecosystem also, right? Because that's where you have the biggest risk of something shooting way up fast, but then dropping it just as fast. You know what I'm saying? So it's not. This isn't like a right. So that like, and here's the thing, right? Like as you were talking about the AVAX situation, right? Like I'm gonna get some AVAX to hold for a long term. You know what I'm saying? Because that's something that will continue to grow. I can sit it and kind of just let it do its thing. If it does have a big run and I catch it, whatever. But and I think that's a good question Matthew asked. What is our did we answer that question? What is our time frame on this token we're buying today?
I would say that this Web3 breakfast it's a long-term. All of these are long-term hold. Now, say like IMX right now is at 250. Say something happens and the thing shoots up to $10. Like I'm gonna sell it and I'm gonna take the profit and then we'll watch and see what happens, right? Like, and then we'll get into something like if something just absolutely rips. I think that's probably the best indication is to sell that and then move into something different that hasn't ripped.
I mean, we got a lot of hands, but I think Immutable's got a long road to run.
Yeah, that was just.
I think
that was just an example.
Yeah.
That was the first one that I was looking at there in the portfolio. But like, you know, yes, like say we pick this thing up at 45 cents, Wilder World, and it shot up to $5. Like I would offload this. Like this isn't a bag that I want to get married to. Like I don't want to get married to bags anymore. I've done that. I've rode, you know, 6 figures down to 4 figures. You know, like we've all done that. Like I don't want to do that ever again. Like I've learned my lesson, and so I will never be emotionally attached to an asset ever again. And that's why I'm even having issues with let's, you know, well, we'll save that for another day. We got to get to some of these hands for sure.
I think Tyler had his up the longest.
All right, let's go Tyler.
But
and then Aeon. We'll go Tyler, Aeon.
Yep.
And then back to Nino. And then Marauder.
And Marauder's in there too.
All right, I'm going to keep it really quick. I don't want to take up too much time from everybody else, but I do want to touch back on something that Jay Chains was mentioning because it's very interesting just to see how a layer 1 works and functions. You mentioned one of the layer 1s can do 10,000 transactions with $1. Well, check this out. Elysium Network can do 292,397 transactions with $1.
Damn.
Layer 1. And it's just going to get better from there because
what's the token? What's the ticker?
PYR, peer. It's the token of the Elysium Network. So Vulcan Forge originally started on originally started on the
That's
Polygon
the same
network,
token that we were talking about before, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But I just wanted to bring up how cheap working on the blockchain is for builders out there who are possibly thinking about building their own games, because they also have some unique protocols on Elysium Network that's going to allow them to go up and above other layer 1s, which is a fee delegation protocol that allows you to basically sponsor the gas required being signed by smart contracts of the Web3 user playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
So basically your business, your foundation wallet can sponsor the gas being paid by players of the game. So they can click a non-playable character, say they want to start a quest, and the whole time they're paying fees on the blockchain with the Lava token without even knowing about it because the foundation wallet is sponsoring it. And after they complete that quest, they'll be able to go back and claim that prize, that NFT or the token. And guess what? They don't even need to have a Web3 wallet because they could have a Web2 account and then claim those Web3 assets later because they'll be held in escrow in a sense. So that's the direction we're heading with Web3 gaming. And Elysium Network has already figured out how to, you know, do it all. And they've been doing it for a while. And I strongly recommend everybody look into PYR, the peer token.
All right. Sounds good, man. We'll definitely, I have it. I mean, I have it up and that may go into the portfolio. I don't hate that choice. I do like the way the chart looks, especially if it's going to repeat what it did before, where it's at currently. So, all right.
One last thing, brother.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to take too long, but they also have nodes.
Oh.
Their nodes, their nodes just went live last month. They had their first snapshot. So depending on how much peer you hold, you can get a forged tier, and that multiplies the amount of lava that you receive from all the transactions on the network, because nodes share portions of the transaction fees on the entire network, which is bullish. So check it out, y'all.
All right. I'm gonna take a look. We're gonna do a much deeper dive into that whole ecosystem. I like that. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Turbo.
No, I love when somebody brings up much knowledge. I mean, that's a lot of good points. Man. So definitely gotta do some more research, you know. And that's what we're here for. I love this show, man. I'm so freaking excited. I love the way this is going.
Yeah.
This is like really freaking awesome. But yeah, Aeon.
Morning, fellas. Thanks for letting me up.
Absolutely.
I heard you guys talking about some interesting stuff, taxes and market caps and all this good stuff. I really enjoy these topics. A lot of people don't really pay too much attention. One of the things I wanted to bring up as well, I didn't hear you guys bring up, is the circulating supply. For me, circulating supply is also a really big factor. If we've got a low market cap with the low circulating supply, a new token, you know that there's not that many tokens out in the market, and this token can be pumped. So for me, I pay attention to that factor, and then also going to check the distribution calendar to see, when the rest of these tokens are going to be distributed. That way, to sell prior to these other people.
There you go. That's that. I mean, the circulating supply versus the max supply that is very important to look at, and you want to see how much is out there, because also you've always got to remember that in the background, if they did a token sale, private sale, VC, all that stuff, is that there are unlock schedules to all of that. Typically, it's like a 18-month linear unlock where people will get tokens every single month, and when that happens, it's immense sell pressure because that's the point of VC, is to try to recoup what you've invested in. So you've always got to pay attention to what the token release schedules. That's very important to look at as well.
If I could just toss one last thing into the bucket,
absolutely.
I'm already just holding a moon bag of this. I know we're talking about different projects. I was curious if you guys have heard of Hytopia. What are your guys' thoughts there?
Didn't somebody talk to us a lot?
Oh my God, Showbiz.
Showbiz, yeah.
So Showbiz, yeah. Dude, and so he drops me 50 Hytopia tokens. He's like, hey man, I want you to have some. Just watch what it does. Don't sell, don't do anything. Bro, that thing's like doubled. Like it's like well over doubled now. It just keeps on ripping right on up. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I ended up jumping into that around 2 pennies. Sold a pretty decent bag right before we hit 10 cents. And then right now I'm just holding my moon bag at this point.
Boom.
Yeah, that was definitely a good one. And Jay, that's one thing we should talk about. Okay, yeah, please.
I was just going to ask. Brian Maver over on YouTube said I would buy Elysium. If you are, that's the right one. Just give me a nod. That's the correct one to pick up, right? I think we're probably going to buy $500 of this. I love the tokenomics of this thing. I do wish that there was more released in circulation, but. That's the one thing I think with like gaming tokens, like that's the one thing that we got to remember, is that sometimes they save it for the ecosystem. If it's, I don't know anything about that. I'll have to do some more research into this. But anyway,
go ahead.
Because
what I was going to say, Aeon, hopefully I'm saying that correctly. He brought some great points. Like when is a good strategy to take profits, Jay? Like what's like, what I mean? Like we should probably have a profit strategy, right?
Yeah. Well, that's a
straight hold. Or
that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah. I mean, like,
okay.
Like so we make the jokes about this kind of stuff. Like your profit strategy is like, what do you need? Like, what are you in this ecosystem for? Like everybody's in it for different reasons. Like one thing I like to say is if you take a screenshot of your portfolio to send to somebody, at that point, it's time to sell it because you've made enough to where you're excited and take what you got and run. That's like that. It's like that. Yeah. It's that game, the briefcase game, right? Where you've got on the board, you're like, you could take the offer for $50,000, or you could win $1 million or nothing, and you're like, I'm going for the million, and you win nothing. It's like, man, you could have just taken the $50K and walked away. Just
well, and that's kind of why I bring it up. I know we have some new viewers over on the YouTube, that are people who are not necessarily, that are new to the ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? That don't necessarily have a lot of expendable income, right? That are trying to be able to increase their their value, and they have some goals and things like that. So talking about that it's okay to take some profits, right? Like if you
no shame in that game.
If you doubled up, no shame. That's where I like to be at. Especially because a lot of these things that we talk about, guys, like they're gonna move, right? Like if you're new to this and you get in, you're gonna see some movement. And bro, do you remember that first time when you saw that big thing shoot up? You know what I'm saying? Like, hell, we just had one, just recently that just kind of that tickled the reminder button. You know what I'm saying? That, bro, that feeling, the emotions, the
no tickling, no tickling the reminder button in public. Okay.
Look, I'm telling you, it's getting tickled right now just thinking about the excitement of someone brand new, purchasing something and the thing shooting off for that first time. It just comes back to just I hope that they remembered to sell, and because that's what no one told me that, right? Like everyone's like, hold, we hodl, we're WAGMI, we're all gonna make it, and they did.
Well, don't hodl so long that you become someone else's exit liquidity. Like have your strategy. We'll talk about that. That's a fantastic thing. We'll let's talk about that soon. Let's talk about strategies for maximizing the potentials of what the markets can be.
J-Chain, just to give you a heads up, something that you could toss into there as well, into that conversation is a balanced crypto portfolio, because a lot of people in crypto, they mainly either A, they're just hodlers of Bitcoin ETH, or B, they're just, moonbag shooters, where they're just, or like they're just trying to find those 100x, 10,000x, and some people they're just stakers, some people are just liquidity providers, some people are just, lenders and borrowers. But when it comes down to crypto, there's multiple things that you can do. And when you have a balanced portfolio, when one part of your portfolio starts to outperform, that's one of your indicators as well. It's like, oh, wow, like this used to only be 5% of my portfolio, and now it's sitting at 25% or 10%, or who knows how many percent. That's a great indicator.
Absolutely. It's Two-Lance. Is that Jared? You just pop into the room?
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's up?
How are you guys?
Good, man. How are you?
How you doing? Doing well, fighting a couple of ear infections, but other than that, I had a nice Christmas. I hope everyone did the same.
Absolutely, man. It was a great time to get a couple days, spend some time with the family. But we are back and having a good conversation about gaming. Speaking of, you guys are you're going live today, but you guys have some game stuff going on.
Yeah, well, our first game goes live today, literally, and including our treasure hunt. But this first game, we intentionally didn't link the token to reduce any selling pressure. And I think that's our second game that's under development will be PD, the play to earn. But I think that's the future. This is the year for gaming, in my opinion. But I think what I look at and what we worked really hard at. Well, let me backtrack. When this token's we've been build for 25 months now. But last year we were working with Tony Drummond, the former CEO and founder of MicroPets. And we were, doing our tokenomics, our gaming, and doing all our wireframes. And one of the things we really focused on, and he brought to our attention, was, and he had a very successful game project. And he said, if I were to do it again, some of the things that I would really be cautious about, it really is, and I call it the one-way street, is how the projects actually pay out the rewards. Because that's key, and that's what I look at, because, a lot of times if you're paying out the rewards in your own token, the more successful the game, the more tokens you pay out, essentially causing selling pressure on your own project. So for us, that was one of the things that we wanted to kind of sidestep, if you will. When that goes live, all right, it's an NFT trivia concept, super addicting, where you'll be able to actually take your NFT from mummy status and work your way up to God status through pharaohs, leveling up in various different, trivia, and it's fun. But so for us, like, it was imperative, like, for consumables and those NFTs to get going, is to be able to purchase them in ETH as opposed to our own token. To enter the game, you would use our own token, but as far as the consumables and stuff, it would be in ETH, and we'd pay out rewards in stables. And actually, we partnered with a company called WeGift, where you'll be able to redeem 1,300 gift cards around the world. Also has payouts, Amazon, Uber, and anything you can think of. That way, the one-way street, right? Token comes in, but it's also not going out. So you can control the narrative as opposed to buying pressure versus selling pressure. And for us, like, even if we had taken our own token in for NFTs, we would have had to sell it, to use that money for future development. So that's why it's imperative that we take in Ethereum. So those are some of the things I look at, is how they pay out rewards. I think it's key.
Awesome.
At least for the future sustainability for gaming.
So how
and they have to be like,
go ahead.
When you break it down too, like, and I think a lot of people in the gaming, it's just got to be like fun, super addicting, and the onboarding process for the average consumer has to be like 2 minutes or less. Like, in other words, like if a 12-year-old can't figure out how to play the game and find it fun in 2 minutes, I don't care how great the project is, it's not going to be a successful game.
That's a really good point.
It's
all of it. I think all of it really has to go back to where we are with like attention and everything. Drums back. I swear, man, it all drums back to like social media and the inability to capture attention. Because like even in as a content creator, if you're like doing short form content, like you have about a second and a half to get someone's attention, or else you just everything's gone to waste. And so it is it's a whole different world out there, man. So let me ask you a question, and I know that we've got a few more hands, but I do want to ask you, as a founder of a project, everything is culminating to today. How has building and putting two lands together during a pretty lengthy bear market, we like to call it the build market, obviously, but keeping everybody in the community happy, making sure that you guys kept your sanity and just kept things moving forward despite any kind of adversity, setbacks, whatever.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're to your point, it turned out to be a build market for us, right? We were going to launch last year, December 21st, and we postponed, and we decided to, just we essentially redid the entire project. Our project is to help fund ancient archaeology around the world. It's a high mission. We even have a nonprofit attached to it, a separate company. But for us, it allowed us to, really just kind of form and develop new real world, real world partnerships. I think one of the things that have helped us the most was that we have a documentary, a behind the scenes look into, it's called Two Lands, a crypto startup. It's now streaming on Amazon Prime, and it just got accepted to some other streaming platforms. So for us, that's proven, being in build 25 months and having the community kind of wait patiently, they've seen like some of the real world partnerships. I know you've had our beer, and we have a gin in the works. We have a nonprofit now, and we have celebrity partnerships, and TCG Road Metaverse partnerships. So I think because of the documentary, in a lot of ways, it's helped us because they got to see like what it looks like, two lands in the office, and talking to all these various different other projects. So I think they saw that what we're trying to build isn't like an overnight thing. It takes time. So it added that level of credibility, and our community has been extremely patient and also very grateful. So today's a big day for us.
Hell yeah. Well, congratulations, man. Round of applause to you and Zach. You guys doing the heavy lifting and the hard work, getting through the finish line here. And hopefully at the end of the day, you guys can rest and know that you did everything you could to have a successful launch. So
Yep, absolutely. Appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate you. All right, let's get to a couple of these hands before we run out of time here. I don't remember the order. I think it was Nino, Marauder, Matthew, possibly. You guys can fight it out if I was wrong.
It was something like that. I was just gonna be quick. To be honest, I wanted to ask if I could shield y'all something real quick. I finally started my project, and it's very early.
Well, unfortunately, we're not really like a shill space, but we will have some opportunities like in the future, for those kind of things. If you have like an upcoming space or something like that you'd like to drop into the Jumbotron, like definitely more than welcome to open that, but it's not really like a shill space still. But thank you so much for asking.
Nah, that's why I asked, bro.
Appreciate you, dog. Maybe we'll do like one. Maybe we'll figure out like a space a month or whatever where we can do a shill-a-thon or whatever, just to give people that opportunity. But I appreciate you asking, man. Thank you, Marauder.
Yo, yeah, I just wanted to, kind of harp on the whole like taking profits, narrative, and just like when you do take profits, me personally, I'm not going to remove my entire exposure to the space, because if you're doing that, like you're just kind of like you're wrecking yourself for possible future gains. Because me personally, I love Bitcoin. I'm always going to hold Bitcoin. I'm probably never going to sell my Bitcoin. So like any major profits I make in this space, I'm definitely going to allocate a good chunk of that to Bitcoin, because I think it's an asset that you should just hold forever. And that being said, like your comment about Immutable X, like I totally agree. If it hit like $10, I'd probably sell like 75% of my holdings, maybe just 50, and just like take a good chunk of profit. But I'm definitely holding on to an asset like that just because I believe in what they're doing. And if you do believe in that like narrative, like you're like, oh, I believe in this token or this ecosystem, I think it's going to, do very well. I just highly recommend not removing your entire exposure just because time in the market always does better than timing the market. If you're just sitting completely in cash and trying to trade like shit coins, like good luck, dude. You're going to get wrecked.
Yes, that's a fact. That's a fact. Have your different wallets set up for your different things. I love, and I think there's a couple people that have been talking. I know Ben's been talking about this, and it's been in the chat as well. I love this idea too of using the blockchain wallet specific for that whole ecosystem. And so it's like yesterday I started moving some of the stuff over to Phantom Wallet so I could fuck around with the Solana shit coins, and obviously you got to now get the core wallet so that we can mess around with the AVAX shit coins. We got to participate and stack our gains, baby. But I think doing it on the wallets that are specific to those blockchains is probably the most beneficial, because the point is to be using the products and services that these blockchains are offering, not just the one-stop shop that like Trust Wallet, or I mean that's most of my stuff. I use Trust Wallet for a lot of things, but getting into the blockchain specific wallets I think is the move. So coming soon. Matthew, what you got, my guy?
GM, well, I already did the GM. Just a little nervous. Also, just in MicroStrategy, just purchased another 14,000 Bitcoin, so about 615 million Bitcoin that just came in across the wire. But I want to also come back to what we're kind of talking about with the taking profits, where think about planning the trade and trading the plan. And Jay, I think you have an incredible opportunity to demonstrate for the community how we can actually do that. So if we talk, oh, maybe if it hits $10 or maybe if it hits $8, I'll do this or I'll do that. I think that we go into this $1,000 portfolio and we start to plan what these trades are. And we say, if it hits this, we're going to pull. If it does this, we're going to do that. And I think you have an opportunity to build in public and show people what those strategies look like in real time. And yeah, maybe some fail, maybe some don't, but it's a really cool opportunity to do that. And the final thing that I have to say, I do not know why nobody is talking about ApeCoin in this other side ecosystem. Really, really, I think approachable, very low. I mean, market cap considerably, but it hasn't been released yet. And if you look at the charts of Sandbox and Decentraland, and you look at what they did before they sold the land, and then when they came out with the game, these tokens and these assets just absolutely ripped. So there's stuff that's in play right now that's doing well, but I think this is definitely an under the radar type play that's going on. But I would love to see us build in public about how we can actually take profits, because that's apparently that's what you're supposed to do. But we'll see.
All right, well,
I'll be sure to buy your bags, Matthew.
I love that. Well, hey, this is financial advice. We've been talking about bringing that back in the new year. Maybe that's something very specific that we segment on. A part of that show is the transparency of the strategy, the plan, where the portfolio's at, and what kind of thoughts and processes that we're going to put to make some moves and stuff. I think that's a great idea, and that's going to be ready to go in January.
2024, baby.
It's a big year.
It's all the big plan. It's all the big plan, man. I just got to say, you guys, this has been one hell of a year. You know what I'm saying? If you're new to the show, if you've been here the whole time with us, what a great year it's been, for all of us. You know what I'm saying? And I'm excited for what we're going to be bringing in 2024. Really, I mean, you guys are the catalyst to the other things that, the other dreams and visions that we have. This is, we might just be two dudes, and Seven who sits over there with us as well, that just hang out on the spaces. But, we have big plans, and big things that we're building. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that's being done that, we haven't spoke about. And we're excited. 2024 is going to be a great year of really coming out and showing what we have. So thank you all so much for being here and being a part of this community. And guys, make sure you check out the Two Lands event that's going on as well. Check out their game. Make sure you tap in with what they have going on as well. I got my tokens. I'm ready to rock and roll. So, definitely looking forward. And, I just love archaeology too. I'm a collector. I'm going to collect NFTs. I'm going to collect these tokens. I'm going to learn to make money. And that's why we got Matthew. And thank God for that. But outside of that, I love to collect. And, and the initiatives they have, thinking of, having all of our archaeology on the blockchain is just so incredibly important. So, but thank you all so much. We love you.
Thank you.
Oh, Jody,
Yeah. Hey,
Thank you,
he said enough for everybody, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We surely do appreciate you to being here. Make sure that you come back tomorrow. We may talk about Bitcoin ordinals. We may just continue the conversation like we had today because we officially did not buy anything. I will do some more research overnight. Maybe you guys can do that too, and we'll figure out and actually buy some shit, and we can do that tomorrow. So make sure that you tune back in, 9 a.m. Eastern. AJ is getting ready to kick off at about 10:30. Yes.
We can talk about the plan. We can put our whole plan together. We can get it kind of organized up. We can talk today for tomorrow.
Not yet.
No?
Nope.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, not yet. No. Oh, okay.
my. Oh my.
We'll see.
No, not
Love
yet.
you guys.
We'll see.
Have a great day.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We know. We never know. We'll get out of here. We'll figure it out.
Jay Jones like,
You got to play the exit music. Play the exit music.
play the music.
You talked over it the whole time.
We couldn't hear it. We couldn't hear it then.
Jesus. All right, who's freestyling over
Get
it?
out of here.
We love you guys. Make
Yeah,
sure you
Seven,
tune in.
give us a freestyle.
Yes.
He gave us straight thumbs down quick.
Give us something.
Best
Come on.
show ever. Best show